Hey guys, super excited today. I have Vanessa Rosenblum from REA Pro Staffing, and Vanessa is my go-to for all things hiring, staffing, salaries. And she recently just sent out an amazing email with a salary guide for real estate professionals. I read it. It was incredible. So Vanessa, thank you for all the work that you're doing and that great guide. What are some of the most important insights that you guys gained with staffing and real estate from this last survey? And have you been doing this for years, or was this a new thing that you guys were doing as a group?
Yeah, so this was year 4 or year 5
of
us putting out this report. Yeah, so we send out a Survey Monkey at the end of every year, and we've been refining the questions over the years. We ask about base salary, what is their bonus or comp plan? Do they get health insurance? What benefits? Are they happy with their job? Do they want to leave? So we get a lot of information, and it's really interesting to see how things change year to year now that we've done it for this long. I'd say this year, a few big ahas are that we have more people who are not working on site than we even did last year. So the trend is continuing. Most people would like to have a hybrid solution, and flexibility is the number one benefit or perk of a job. So the clock in, clock out, FaceTime, 9 to 5 plus way of working is gone. If you want talented people who can work autonomously, who take ownership of their job, they expect to be treated like professionals and have flexibility, and they'll give you flexibility. Yeah. The biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I saw, and it's funny, you can, guys, I'm going to put a link down for you guys to get access to that guide. So make sure you go down in the description, get that guide. I read through it, and yeah, that was kind of the same major insight that I saw in there was, that this virtual staff is really the path, and it's kind of a hybrid. Is that kind of safe to say?
Yeah, I mean, people don't want to drive into an office to do exactly what they could do sitting in their comfy pants from home, and they still value having community and connection. Yeah. So being at home all the time is not a good fit for everyone. It's definitely not a great fit for younger employees who need mentorship and more guidance. But commuting is expensive, dry cleaning is expensive, and there are a lot of things that don't require FaceTime to complete. So I know a lot of offices where people come in 2 days a week. They're there for the office meeting, and they come in one other day to do group work. And the rest of the time they can work remotely. Different teams have different needs. Things have to be structured differently. Some people have some people on site, and their marketing person is across the country because that person doesn't need to live in Los Angeles, right? Or wherever they are. So we're seeing a lot of variety. Yeah. Right now.
And in the guide, and it's brilliant. You guys cover different roles between transaction manager versus operations manager, and then different salaries by region. So my friends out there, make sure you take a look at that. I mean, obviously us guys in California are getting hammered. We're paying twice as much than everywhere else really around the country. So some really good, interesting insights there. I get asked all the time, Vanessa, as a coach, is like, well, how much should I pay them? And then you also have some different role descriptions in that guide. So that was really valuable. I think, one of the big topics you and I've talked about in a previous session was really how we're defining the marketing staff. I just had a mega agent, great friend of mine, just fire his marketing director. And I was reading that page on the difference between kind of marketing coordinator. And then the second one was like another marketing job. And then there was the marketing director, and you guys did a great job defining those. What are you guys seeing in terms of kind of this marketing support system? Is there a trend of this in 2022 or 2023? Is there anything that people should know about hiring marketing support? It's a big topic right now.
It is a big topic, and marketing is such a it's such a broad topic too, right? So really the first step is figuring out exactly what do you need and what can you outsource. So for some teams, they need a contract marketing strategist, a marketing director who can help define strategy, but the day-to-day work can be done in-house. For other people, having the strategist in-house who may also have great copywriting skills and be able to run social media campaigns, having that person in-house and then having an offsite coordinator to do more of the grunt work, if you will, makes more sense. One of the trends that we see is people trying to outsource all of their marketing overseas, and that is a mistake.
I agree 1,000%
the coordinator level needs to be more closely held, because they just can't capture your voice and your culture, and that's just not a good use of that resource. You got to keep that in-house. And you have to understand, marketing people make a lot of money. So in Los Angeles, we just finished a search for a marketing director for a large real estate team. The candidates they were considering were looking for salaries between $140,000 and $175,000 a year salary. Okay, so no, that was a big team. They had the budget for that. Obviously, most people don't. But like, reality check, even a marketing coordinator who is good at their job is going to be well paid. You're not going to pay them $20 an hour in the US and get marketing support.
Yep. No, that was really brilliant. I saw that too in there. Let's touch on, what are you seeing in terms of trends? Because you have a section on hiring virtual assistants in the Philippines, which, I have, and many agents have. So there was also helpful there. You had a salary guide there. Is there anything that you're seeing in terms of trends with, our relationship with the Philippines and the virtual staff out there?
Yeah, I mean, over the last couple of years, because so many people have hired real estate assistants from the Philippines, we have a bigger pool of people who actually have experience managing transactions and understanding what real estate is all about. And that's really fantastic. Their salaries have increased as well. And I'd say one thing to really watch out for, if you hire somebody through an agency, they're taking a nice fat spread, and $100 a month in the Philippines is a big difference in salary. So if you're paying $1,200 a month to the agency, that person's probably making $800 a month or $900 a month. It's a big difference. So if you're comfortable hiring somebody directly or working with a team that will place somebody directly with you, you have more control over how much they make. You're going to capture a better person. Some of the challenges with people from the Philippines is really reliability, because they have hurricanes and blackouts and internet outages. So making sure that their setup is really important. And also their family, just the social structure, you're going to run into a lot of people who have a lot of issues come up in their life. And so you just kind of have to be aware that you're going to deal with some different dynamics than you would possibly with somebody in the States. But a good VA from the Philippines is making $1,500 a month, $1,700 a month.
Yep.
Try to find that in the US.
Yep.
I mean, and you can get someone who can do a lot of great work. So you might have to be a little more flexible in some areas. The other issue that we have run into in this past year is virtual people saying that they're working for you full time, but having multiple clients.
Yeah.
And so this is an issue.
Yeah.
One of the ways to fix this is to use one of these, and we don't use this, but there are ways to monitor people's screen time.
Right.
I don't love the big brother-ishness of that. I think if you set really clear expectations about what you want and what the deliverables are, and they aren't meeting them, then they're not meeting them, whether they're working just for you or they're working for 4 people. But this is a problem when you have somebody working virtually. You don't get to watch over them all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I've seen that software too. And I kind of felt the same way, like that's a little overboard. I feel like people could have better leadership skills and set better expectations, and that should work. And we can always just go find another person that, can meet those expectations. So what was super helpful for me with that exact topic you were talking about prior to, which is kind of this cultural difference and kind of, what the life is like in the Philippines versus here, was the Virtual Freedom book. Did you ever, I think it was Chris Drucker. Anyways, super helpful. It really helped me to understand the cultural nuances as well. So the one thing I didn't hear that you said, which I noticed, and Chris mentioned it, is that they're not necessarily motivated by money and bonuses. And if you actually just, ask really interesting questions like, hey, how are you? How's your family? Is everything okay? That this kind of like a little bit of caring goes a huge way. And I was so struck by that. And then kind of thoughtful gifting, or kind of providing them with access to better software and tools and giving them things that improved their skills, improved their lives, went a long way with loyalty and trust. So I found in the beginning of my career with virtual assistants is I kind of got a lot of the, it seemed like they were lying, but it was really kind of obfuscating the truth. And then as I earned more trust with them, they just tell me what was going on. And then I gave them that freedom. And then I built that relationship with them, and surprise, surprise, performance started going way up.
Absolutely.
So there's this little shift in there that, there's some beautiful staff that you can get there, but you got to play that game the right way culturally with them, and it'll work. Right. So anyways, those were just some of the things that I learned, besides everything you said, which I agree with 1,000%.
Well, and just to add on to that, the thing that's motivating them is safety, security, and care.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Well
and so pay them on time.
Yeah.
I mean, really simple things, like things you should be doing anyways. Pay them on time. Don't expect them to work 24/7 and be mad that they're not available when they're at church on Sunday. Like, come on, they're not your slave. Like, get over yourself. Come on. It's amazing. Some people, just treat them with kindness and respect, and they will be incredibly loyal. They do not jump jobs. Like, this is one of the things. If you treat somebody well and you find the right person and you pour into them, they will stay with you for years.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Find the same thing in the United States.
Yeah, I've got great loyalty with multiple virtual assistants in the Philippines, and I actually use them today as well, like really talented ones for project basis. Like I don't have full staff, but I know what they're capable of, and I trust them, and I trust what they're able to do, and I'll kind of pay them a good chunk. Hey, do this for me, and I love the results that I get. So that was a really useful resource for me to figure out how to leverage. Right. Cool. Anything else in that guide that you want to mention? I recommend that everybody go down the link, get that. Make sure you check out Vanessa's YouTube channel. There was also some video links in there. And I know you guys have a masterclass for hiring. That was a link access in there. That was great. So I loved the content marketing strategy that you guys were playing there. That was brilliant. I wish I can get more of my agents to follow that same principle. But anything else in that guide for 2023, things that we need to be paying attention to, look out for, opportunities from your guys' research?
Yes. People are feeling the pinch with the rise of inflation.
Yes.
Last year, the #1 reason somebody would leave a job is for greater challenge and growth and opportunity. And this year it was to make more money.
Yeah.
And that's the first time it's been the #1 thing. Usually money isn't the big driver. We have not seen salaries decrease, which maybe you would have thought that they would because last year was slow. Maybe this year we might see some of that because it's continuing to be slow. But we're seeing people feel the pinch and they're looking for more money. Mm-hmm. The other thing, we started asking about health insurance, I think in 2000, and in that year, 10% of our respondents received health insurance. This year, it was almost 40% are receiving some sort of health insurance benefit from their employer. People want this benefit. I talk about this in the guide where, if you offer health insurance through a defined plan, that's pre-tax money for both of you. That is tax-free money that you can give to somebody that makes a huge difference in their life. So I highly encourage you to look into how you can offer health benefits as part of your package. And you can think about it as I have X amount of money to offer, and I can offer X amount tax-free because they're gonna have to pay for health insurance anyways, and then the rest of it we're gonna pay our taxes on. And so you can fold it into your package and make your offer more competitive.
Yeah, I saw that in the job hunt research, and then you also did a video on that topic of how to structure this so that it's a financial benefit not only to you but to them. So that was really good. That was super interesting because that was a question that I had with my last executive assistant was, how does this work? And then financially, is this good for me, bad for me? Is this just an increase in my expenses? So thank you for that research. And then the last thing that I want to ask you about, Vanessa, that you referenced in the guide was bonus structures. I get asked this all the time, what to do there. There's one thing that I really like that I've seen out in the industry, which is the referral fee bonus structure. But you kind of covered all of the different variations and the different types, and everything you stated in the guide was 100% on point. Is there anything that you want to share with us today around bonus structures, observations about that, or ways to play that out to be successful?
Yeah, I'd say always the big takeaway is percentage is not the way to go. Either do it as a flat fee or on a quarterly basis. Mm-hmm. If you're going to offer, if you have an operations manager, for example, and you want them to be responsible for a net profit, you got to make sure that you keep your books clean and that you're willing to share them. No special lunches on the books, okay? And that can be beneficial if you have a good open relationship with your ops manager and you really want them to manage your bottom line. It's usually not the way to go. So per bonus transaction or quarterly is the way to go. Bonuses really should never be more than about 20% of total compensation for an admin. If you go back to behavioral styling, they are looking for safety and security. They're not motivated by the big bonus. They're motivated by knowing that they're secure. Yes. And so they need stability. The bonus is the cherry on top. It's not how they pay their rent.
Yes, exactly. And then you also break down the difference between like transaction coordinator versus operations manager versus. So guys, check out the guide. It was phenomenal. That was really good. Vanessa, anything else? I know that, I keep recommending you guys to a lot of my mega agents for help with staffing. So would you like to share a little bit about kind of what you guys do and kind of what they can expect? I think there at the bottom of the guide, there's an opportunity for people to book an appointment to do a consultation with you guys. So anything about the service and, how to get in communication with you, I'd love to hear that for everybody out there.
Yeah, thank you. So we've been helping real estate agents hire administrative staff for 15 years. We have a range of programs, no matter what your budget is or where you are on your journey to build a team. For mega agents, retained search, we handle everything for you. That's the way to go. But if you're just dipping your toe in the water, don't have the budget to just hand over the search, we can help you with everything from one-off interviews to reference checks to writing that offer letter. So wherever you are in your journey to hire, whether that's on-site or virtual, we likely have a program that can support you to make sure that you're making the right hire the right way to set you up for success so that you don't have to do this again anytime soon. And we have a whole website called hire-lab.com. So hire-lab.com. And that site is just a mega resource. So we have other guides. We have resources to help you train your new assistant. We have leadership support. You name it, that's a place to go for anything related to hiring or growing your admin team.
Yep, great. And guys, I highly recommend you checking them out, booking an appointment. The team is awesome. Everybody that's done it has been a raving fan. And I'm trying to get everybody to just go the full service, to be honest, because I know we're running out of time. So a couple of my clients who kind of chose that a la carte path, I'm like, what are you doing? You're just wasting time. Just hire them and let's get this thing going, right? Yeah. Inaction and a lack of implementation is the pain and suffering of 2023. Right. So people's production who is down, it's because of inaction and a lack of execution. And that is where the production problems are. This is time to be way more productive. So thank you, Vanessa. We appreciate you. And everybody get the guide.